Hi guys, I hope everyone's coping with the lockdown well and surviving life inside. I know this might be a bit of a shock for everyone, but together we can get through this. Main thing to remember is please stay inside, stay away from other people. If we all do this together, it will be over soon. So I'm going to be doing some video lessons. This is my second one so far. I just did a chemistry one this morning, so got a little bit of practice, but let's see how it goes. I'm going to be giving this to all year 10s, so not just my two classes, 10S and 10H, but the other year 10 class as well, which Mr. O'Toole teaches. I think we've gone over pretty much the same stuff in medical science so far, and what we'll be looking at today is the muscles. So there are three different types of muscles that we're going to be looking at today, and they have their similarities and their differences. The first type is called the cardiac muscles, which are found in your heart. The second type are called smooth muscles, which are found in some internal organs like your intestine. And the last type, which you're probably most familiar with, are called skeletal muscles, which are the ones that let us move our arms and legs and stuff like that. So, muscles are made up of cells that can contract or relax. A muscle cell is a specialized type of cell that just contracts. Contract means get smaller. So individually, these cells only contract a tiny amount, but in a bicep, you're going to have lots of them. So this muscle here, the bicep, you've got lots of them end to end, and if each one contracts a little bit, in total, it's going to add up to a big movement. So here's the bicep. When I contract that muscle, it gets smaller and pulls my arm up. These muscles are often attached by tendons to bones. So this white bit here and down here, these are tendons, and they connect muscles to bones. So this is a computer visualization of what is going on inside a muscle cell. Here's a little motor proton. It's a small molecule that, when it gets given a signal, it moves along and contracts the muscle. Having millions of those in one arm muscle will add up to a large contraction. This is what a muscle fiber might look like. So here's a few parts that we're going to look at. Here is a long muscle fiber made up of a number of cells. The first important bit of the cell, which we looked at last year, is called the nucleus. This is a control center of the cell, and it contains genetic material for reproduction. So if your muscles are getting a lot of workout, they're going to produce more muscles, and the nucleus is the part of the cell which contains material to make more muscle. Mitochondria, this is the part of the cell that provides power. If the muscle is doing lots of work, it's going to have lots of mitochondria. If it's not doing as much work, it's less used muscle, and might have less mitochondria. A long chain of muscles connected together, so these long tubes here, these are called myofibrils, and that's a long chain of muscle cells, and they will all contract or relax together. And all of these myofibrils are bunched together in a bunch, and these larger bunches are called a sarcolemma. And this is the membrane that holds the myofibril together in a larger tube. The important parts to remember here are the mitochondria, which is the bit that provides power to the cell. So the first type of muscle we're looking at is the cardiac muscle or heart muscle. Heart muscles are really specialized because they don't need rest. It says extended period of rest. Really, they rest a little bit between each beat. If they stop beating, you're going to quickly die. The blood stops flowing through your body and your cells won't get oxygen and die. Your heart muscles don't need much rest because inside your heart muscles they have lots of mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. So because they have so much mitochondria, it's producing lots and lots of energy and it doesn't need much rest. Remember, mitochondria, these little bits here. So here is a heart. If you remember from last week when we dissected one, and inside these muscle fibers, it's going to have lots of mitochondria. Here are the tubes of muscle cells, called the myofibrils as well, which we looked at before. The cardiac muscle is called an involuntary muscle. We have no control of it. We can't make it speed up or slow down. Our body does that itself. The next type of muscle is called the smooth muscles. These are another involuntary muscle, and they carry out functions in our body such as moving food through our intestine and removing waste out of our body. Once again, we have no control over these. They just do their job without us even thinking about it. Examples are in your intestine, stomach, and bladder, moving food and liquid around the body. It's happening. There's something doing it, but we're not in control of it. Another example is like the hair on your arms. If it gets cold, your hair is going to stand up. There are little muscles inside each hair follicle that makes that stand up. Once again, you can't control that, but your body will respond to cold weather or shock or something by making those hairs rise up. These are what smooth muscles look like. These black bits are the nucleus, and you can see they're kind of stretched out and smooth looking possibly. The last type of muscle that we're looking at are the ones which you're probably most familiar with, and these are called the skeletal muscles. These are voluntary muscles between different bones in the skeleton, and they allow movement such as walking and throwing. Skeletal muscles are connected to bones through tendons, like we said before, and almost always come in pairs. Here we have a pair of muscles. This one at the top here is your bicep. The one at the bottom is your tricep. As the bicep top muscle, that one there, contracts, the arm moves upwards. So you can see when it contracts, it's contracting, it's getting fatter and shorter, pulling the muscle up. When the bicep relaxes and the tricep contracts, here the tricep's getting fatter and contracting, then the arm moves downwards. You can find these pairs of muscles all over your body. A pair of muscles that work in opposite, bicep, tricep, are known as antagonistic pairs. They're working against each other. Here are some other examples. Well, bicep, tricep, and in our legs. This one, it's a hamstring. When you're bending your knee, it's going to pull the leg up as it contracts, and when it relaxes and your quads or quadricep contracts, it is going to straighten the leg again. That is all the muscles that we're going to be looking at for today. If you have any questions, send me an email. I am now going to explain the work that I'm going to want you to be doing. So, all of these instructions will be on Google Classroom. So number one, make sure you are on Google Classroom. And the first work that you will be doing is in your SciPad. So in your SciPad, if you do not have it, they will be at school until 3 p.m. today, which you can pick up. If you don't have one or you've missed that, I will be trying to send out a PDF version of this to everyone as soon as possible. I would like you to read page 176 and 177 and complete the answers. Also, you should have done page 173 to 175 already, and pages 180 to 185. I'm going to write those down in Google Classroom, so don't worry about that. So yeah, that is your first job, to finish those pages. You should have done some already. Your next task is on Education Perfect. My two classes have been set work. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people have completed it already. That's awesome. The rest of you have not. That is up to you to complete. I don't know if Mr. O'Toole's class has been set this work yet, but I'll make sure it will be set soon. So please complete that next. And your last task is this sheet, which will be on Google Classroom for you to complete. Just fill in the gaps and submit it to me. All of these tasks will be written down on Google Classroom when I upload this video. Apart from that, your other homework is, yes, do some exercise. You are stuck inside. Well, you can go outside for a walk, but you're probably going to be around the house a lot. Try to think of some exercise. What can you do? Sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, something like that. And when you are doing them, think of the muscles you are using. If I'm doing a pull-up, like that, as I pull myself up, I'm going to be using my triceps. As I lower myself down, I'm going to be using as I pull myself up, I'm going to be using my biceps, and as I lower myself down, I'm going to be putting weight on my triceps. So get some exercise, think about what muscles you're using. Apart from that, I hope you are enjoying your time off, or if you're not enjoying it, making the most of it. Find something productive to do while we're on lockdown. Please don't go outside and spread COVID around. Like I said before, we all follow the rules. This will go away very quickly. If we don't follow the rules, it's going to drag on for a long time. So that's all from me. Send me an email if you got any questions, comments. Hit like and subscribe below. Leave a comment in the messages as long as it's constructive. And I'll give you another message at the end of on Friday. See you later.